Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. Donald Trump did it again. He's so much smarter than the mainstream media and the establishment GOP. He's playing at another level, like Michael Jordan did years ago in the NBA, or LeBron James does it today. Every time the media, the establishment GOP, or Donald's critics and opponents think he's destroyed himself with outrageous or offensive comments, his ratings go up and they wind up with egg on their face. Now, last week, Donald made his remarks about instituting a temporary ban against Muslims entering this country until we get a handle on who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. Pretty reasonable. Until we could figure out how to properly vet who's coming into our own country. The media went berserk again. Just like when Donald dared to say he'd build a wall and deport anyone here illegally. And once again, they were wrong. Trump's poll numbers went up dramatically in the ratings again. He now leads 41-14 with Ted Cruz in second place at 14 and everyone else below that. It's a landslide. The people have spoken and they love Donald's plan to keep their children safe. American children safe. Common sense won again. Donald Trump won again. Now let me share an up-close and personal Trump story you won't get anywhere else. I'm writing this column after a wild 48 hours. I returned late last night from the GOP presidential debate where I was a guest of the Trump campaign. The night before, every GOP presidential candidate was in Vegas a day early for a rally or a fundraiser with their fans. And all of them attracted 200 people here and 100 people there and 50 people here and 40 people there. But Donald Trump had a small, intimate gathering for 5,000 to 7,000 fans. And guess who had the honor and privilege of being the lead speaker and master of ceremonies? Yours truly. There were only two speakers, Donald Trump and Wayne Allyn Root. I became the opening act for the man I believe is the next president of the United States. What an honor. It was like opening for Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. This wasn't a political rally. It was a rock concert. That's why Trump will be the GOP nominee for president of the United States. Rubio attracted 200 people. Trump brought in thousands upon thousands, a sea of humanity. My personal guesstimate, between 5,000 and 7,000 people there. And this story happened in Las Vegas, a town notorious for zero political interest. And that makes sense because my friends all over the country tell me about Trump rallies with 15,000, 18,000, 20,000 and more. That's what Trump brings to the table. No other candidate can match this passion, intensity, and love. But here's the really interesting part. I was the center of the Trump universe that night. After the speech, I stayed for well over an hour taking photos with fans. It was the experience of a lifetime. Hundreds of people said Donald and I delivered the two best political speeches they'd ever heard in their lives. You can watch my speech right here below this video. I've included a link in the actual column below. So I used this wonderful opportunity, hanging out with the fans, to spend quality time and talk to the people who support Donald Trump. I got to really know them. And what I found is the reason Donald will win the GOP nomination and eventually the presidency of the United States. The reason is Donald is the hero of working class Americans. Donald's fan base is plumbers, electricians, construction workers, taxi drivers, secretaries, hairdressers, cops, firemen, and yes, in Las Vegas, casino workers. Donald's a man of the people. I know it's ironic. It took a business mogul worth $10 billion to bring working class Americans to the GOP, but Donald did it. These people, almost to a man and woman, have never voted before at all. Or they voted only Democrat in the past. Or they voted once for a Republican in their lives, Ronald Reagan. The people at this rally were Reagan Democrats and Blue Dog Democrats and true independents. This is great news for the GOP. The media keeps saying the GOP needs to expand the tent. Well, Donald Trump's done it. Well, establishment types scream that Trump is ruining the party because he's scaring off and offending, in their minds, minorities, Mexicans, immigrants, Muslims. The reality is none of those groups are coming in any significant number to any other GOP candidate. Not Cruz, not Rubio, not Bush, not Kasich, not Christie, not anyone. They aren't expanding the tent by one person. They're talking about expanding the tent. But moderate Republicans who criticize and condemn Trump, but themselves say nothing and believe in nothing, like Jeb Bush and John Kasich, at this point, they have a tent with only their wives, children, and their mother in it. But Trump doesn't just talk. He does it. Trump has expanded the base, not based on race or gender, but based on class. Why is that bad? I think expanding the tent is good no matter who comes in. You mean that expanding the tent to include gays or women or blacks or Hispanics or Muslims is good, but expanding the tent to include millions of working class Americans of all kinds isn't good? Funny how when Democrats get those voters, the media says it's great. Democrats care about the working man and woman, they say. But when Trump gets the same group, it's suddenly a bad thing, a condemnation, a put down. I read articles across the world, not just the United States, across the world on Tuesday, claiming that Trump attracted an uneducated crowd to the Vegas rally. The Boston Globe described the rally as ugly. Really? When they vote Democrat, these same people are middle America, the working man, salt of the earth. But when they vote for a Republican for the first time in their lives, the media insinuates they're low class and uneducated. Amazing. Well, that mass of working class Americans is what I call the Trump army. This is a citizen revolution. I call it the Trump revolution of working class stiffs. Good people, honest people, hardworking people, salt of the earth, the foundation of America. Real Americans who don't want handouts, only a job and a fair chance for upward mobility. Real Americans who have never taken welfare in their lives. Real Americans who just want their kids to do better than themselves. Real Americans who pay into the system, not take out. God bless them. I'm a son of a butcher. They remind me of my dad, the butcher. And why are they so mad? Why is Trump their hero? Because he speaks for them. He speaks plain-spoken, common-sense American values. He tells the raw, honest truth. They're sick of the BS. They're sick of being lied to. They're sick of political correctness. And most importantly, they're sick of being under attack, of being targeted. The middle class is being murdered. And they see it, they feel it, they're living it. They're being destroyed, annihilated, slaughtered. They're being driven out of existence by Obama's socialist cabal and Hugo Chavez Venezuela-like policies combined with the establishment GOP's favoritism towards big business. Both parties have destroyed the working class and middle class of America. The government is actively working against the people. The system isn't fair. The deck is stacked, and they see one hero who speaks for them and wants to fight for them, Donald J. Trump. That's why Trump leads 41-14 in the latest polls. Think about that. 41-14, that's called an historic landslide. I witnessed firsthand what fuels this Trump phenomenon. He will combine traditional GOP voters, conservatives, Tea Partiers, pro-business, small business, with millions of non-traditional GOP voters, working class, union members, middle class Americans. Yes, I predict Trump will win the union vote. He'll be endorsed by the Teamsters Union, by the steelworkers, by police and fire unions across the country. Trump's a new kind of Republican, the kind I've been writing about and begging for years, the kind I wrote about in my national bestseller, The Murder of the Middle Class, the kind that forms a citizen revolution with the people that made America great, working men and women of the great American middle class, the kind of citizen revolution that fights hard and fights rough to take back this country. On Monday night in Las Vegas, I saw it all up close and personal. I was blessed to be a witness to a new citizen revolution. I am a witness to the Trump revolution. I am a witness to history. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. God bless America.